Welcome to Benny Bungle, the spot for anyone stuck in a dead-end job, hating their boss, drowning in bills, or just feeling lost in the crowd. Some days you want to make a change, do something meaningful, but have no clue where to start. Or your love life's a constant drama that drains you. If life feels like a pressure cooker and you don't have the manual, this is the place to laugh, think, and maybe realize this story might as well be about you. So yeah, I'm Benny Bungle. And trust me, this is just the beginning. People say office life is boring, but not for me. For me, it's like an action movie, except I'm always the victim. This morning, I opened my eyes to a battlefield snack wrappers, soda cans, and a crumpled tissue. I didn't dare ask what mission it had served. I wondered, why do humans have to go to work if we all stopped? The world would probably keep spinning anyway. But then my brain slapped me with the truth: rent is still due. I stepped out of bed and immediately stepped on last night's cold pizza, painful yet somehow nutritious in an imaginary way. Passing the mirror, I saw a stranger with panda-like dark circles under the eyes. Then I remembered, oh right, that's me. The alarm clock had screamed 7 times, and I had smashed the snooze button every single time. I think it wanted to quit more than I did. I reached for my phone, 2% battery. Like it was whispering, good luck, loser. Outside, birds were chirping. I just wanted to open the window and yell, shut up. I have 3 deadlines and a life that's already falling apart. I tried to hype myself up. Today will be fresh and full of energy. But looking at the pile of dirty dishes, my energy dropped straight to -10. In the end, I settled on brush my teeth, get dressed and save all my pessimism for the commute, while brushing my teeth. I thought maybe I won't talk to anyone today, so do I even need to brush? But then I thought, what if a cute girl is in the elevator? Okay, one more pass. When rinsing, I accidentally swallowed a mouthful of toothpaste minty like a $5 cocktail. Looking in the mirror, I thought, okay, not handsome, but at least both eyebrows survived. Washing my face, water ran onto my shirt, looked like I'd been crying all night over an ex. Every time I comb my hair, I think with all this shedding, I'm destined to become a bald philosopher early. Spraying cologne makes my hands shake. One extra spritz and suddenly I'm a walking Dior bomb, picking up the razor. I think one slip and this morning could be a horror movie. After shaving, I look at my face, it's okay. Probably only my mom would be proud. Finally. I step out of the bathroom confident like a CEO, except my bank account says otherwise. I put on a white shirt and immediately notice a chili stain from last week. I wonder, does anyone at the office even notice my shirt? Probably just me and the washing machine. Result: I still wear it. Me and that chili stain are best friends when putting on shoes. I discover yesterday's socks, still inside authentic foot aroma included. Before leaving, I spritz a little cologne to mask the fact that my shirt isn't ironed, my pants aren't folded, and my room hasn't been cleaned in 3 weeks. In the elevator, I pretend to text to avoid Mrs. Jenkins, the neighbor who always drops life-changing questions. When will you get married? Every time I hear it, my heart jumps like I just got called on during a test I didn't study for. I think get married. Next week, she'll probably file for divorce because I burned the eggs. Mrs. Jenkins smiles innocently, while I stare at the ceiling like a philosopher pondering the fluorescent light. If there were Olympic golds for avoiding human interaction, I'd have it. I sit at my desk, open Excel, and the file disappears. Like cheap magic. A coworker asks Benny, "Why are you so slow?" I say I'm not slow, I'm working in slow motion mode. While they laugh. I accidentally press a button and crash the entire server. Suddenly, I'm public enemy number 1. The boss walks in. Who just took down the system? I pretend to sip coffee. Must be the universe. A bit later, I open an important email, turns out it's a pizza discount. I reply faster than I would to my boss. Sometimes office work feels like a survival game. Whoever makes it to 5 p.m. wins. Sleepy. I pretend to be deep in thought while actually napping on the keyboard. A coworker whispers Benny is brainstorming hard. I nod in my dream. When I wake up, the screen is filled with 27 pages of zzz, literally a sleep report. The boss enters with a face like he just realized the company has 3 days left. Benny. Today's task, just make coffee. I think I got promoted. Excitedly, I press the button. 2 minutes later. The coffee machine goes boom like a Christmas firework. Boss sighs, Benny. You didn't make coffee, you just invented a weapon of mass destruction. I stand there with an empty cup, wondering am I better suited to be a firefighter than an office worker. Every office has that fridge full of lunches braver than their owners. I put my sad sandwich in there, hoping no one steals it. Joke's on me, no one wants it. Someone is always microwaving fish. Thinking nobody notices. Buddy, the whole building notices. I pretend to eat healthy salad on the desk. Under the desk. A secret bag of chips that knows me better than HR. My coworker naps at his desk. Everyone pretends not to hear him snore, but secretly. It's recorded for the group chat. Some meditate. I Google jobs I'll never apply to. One guy chews so loud I know exactly what stage his nachos are in. I once caught the boss eating instant noodles straight from the office coffee mug. Classic leadership. Everyone thinks they're sneaky scrolling TikTok, but the glow on their face is like a campfire in a cave. Office lunch isn't about food, it's about secrets, who's dating who's broke, and who's stealing the good forks. I try to work seriously, but the computer freezes. I freeze too. We stare into the void together. I think if I sit still long enough, maybe the boss thinks I'm meditating, so I close my eyes, nap for 20 minutes. Everyone needs private space. I have the toilet corner. I used to think no one knew I spend hours scrolling there. Now the world knows. Late afternoon. I open Excel, realize I forgot to save since morning. Feels like eating half a pizza, then remembering you're on a diet. I consider asking it for help last time. He just pressed 3 keys, and it worked. I feel like an idiot living on miracles. Sometimes I wonder, is my salary for my work, or for how many times I break things? Either way. Going home still feels like a huge victory. Leaving. I meet Mrs. Jenkins in the elevator. She asks, "When will you have a child?" I want to say, "Ma'am, I haven't found anyone willing to eat fallen sandwiches with me." Instead, I just smile and pretend to listen to music, headphones off. She frowns. Shaking her head, probably thinks I'm immature. I think maybe I should carry a sign. Sorry. Benny Bungle is not ready for adulthood. At home. I open the fridge, empty. Just a lemon and some ketchup. I consider cooking, then order takeout. Maybe tomorrow I'll be a master chef, maybe. Eating. I scroll my phone accidentally, like 3 old photos of my crush from 2018. Am I an internet archaeologist? I turn on the TV 5 minutes later, imagining myself as the main character, then nap during the climax. I stare at the ceiling, thinking if the fan falls, at least I have a valid excuse to skip work for a week. Tried exercising, ended up only working my fingers, scrolling endlessly. Tried making tea, accidentally used salt instead of sugar. Genius detox invention. I start journaling, write 1 line. Tomorrow will be different. Close it like a masterpiece. Before sleep. I solemnly promise, wake up early. Exercise. Read. Cook healthy, then hug my pillow like a champion. Before bed. I stare at a supermodel poster. If she knew I existed, she'd text me immediately. I tell myself tomorrow I'll be different, but I know in my gut, it'll be exactly the same. That's the glamorous, glittering, utterly failing life of Benny Bungle. I once sent a love letter to myself just to make sure someone reads it. Imagined paparazzi, outside reality, just the neighbor's cat squatting. I secretly practice talking to the mirror as if tomorrow the press asks, how does it feel to be a legend? Sometimes I set my alarm for 5 a.m. just to turn it off and feel like I conquered the universe. I've kept a candy from 6th grade, hoping it'll become an artifact. In dreams. I save the world by hitting the computer's off button just in time. And with all these ridiculous secrets, I become Benny Bungle, failure hero, yet always confidently winning in his own mind.